this past year, American Airlines changed the way you get elite status. So it used to be like every other airline that you earned it through flying and how many miles you flew. And then just like most other airlines, they added a spend requirement to it. So it used to be until this year, you had to both fly a certain distance with American and spend a certain amount with American to get elite status. But that's all gone. Now it's all based on things called loyalty points, which whenever you do something that earns American Airlines miles, almost whenever, you earn both the miles that are redeemable. That means you can use them for award flights, and you earn loyalty points, which get you to elite status.
Now you can earn elite status with American Airlines without ever stepping foot on a plane. You don't need to go to an airport.
That's right, because there's the shopping portal, American Airlines shopping portal, which all the points you earn through there that aren't for a seasonal promotion, those count as loyalty points. You can connect your card up with something called Simply Miles, and if you earn points through spend that's connected to Simply Miles, you earn more loyalty points that way. Just the options go on and on. Sometimes we can buy really cheap phone SIM cards and earn thousands of loyalty points that way. And so, even though American Airlines doesn't call it a game, we call it a game. It's one of those things where the scoreboard is how many loyalty points you've earned. The prize is elite status and bragging rights. And it turns out that the prize goes beyond, sort of direct American Airlines elite status benefits. If you get on American Airlines website, you could look up what the benefits are of elite status, which is things like getting preferred seating when you're flying American, getting first class upgrade if available for domestic flights, and things like that. If you're anything like me, all those things probably aren't all that meaningful, because if you're like me, you don't fly American Airlines enough for it to matter much to have all those benefits. But there are plenty of benefits you can get from American Airlines elite status that are not things that happen when you fly American Airlines.
I just recently ran into some of those myself just a week ago, because we flew JetBlue from Albany, New York to Orlando, and I had remembered at some point in the days before the flight that there was a connection between American and JetBlue, and there are some reciprocal elite benefits. And so sure enough, thanks to my loyalty point games, shenanigans, I have American Airlines Platinum status. And so that was enough to give me some decently tangible benefits on JetBlue. I got priority check-in at the airport, so I got to go through the Mosaic line, which, is obviously top tier, the only level of status, but the top tier status for JetBlue. So that helped me avoid the entire line to drop off bags when we were checking them. And then I also got preferred seating. I mentioned this, I think, last week. I got the extra or even more space seating is what JetBlue calls it, which is very spacious for economy class. And so I was able to get that not only for me, but for 6 passengers on my reservation. I couldn't believe that. Like, I don't know how it works with Delta and other airlines, but I think generally speaking, your elite benefits usually only apply to you and like maybe 1 or 2 companions. But
yeah, it depends on what benefit you're talking about.
Right.
Yeah. But I think you're right. I think most of them are just for one person.
Yeah. So I was really surprised when I was able to move all 6 of us to the even more legroom seats, which would have been about $50 a piece if we were paying for them. So that was $300 worth of upgraded seating. So that was a terrific benefit, and 2 free checked bags, which of course checked bags on JetBlue would have otherwise cost me $30 for the first bag and $40 for the second. So getting 2 free checked bags was a nice deal. That benefit only applied to me, or at least I think it only applied to me. Everybody else paid for their checked bags. So, but still, tangible benefits that saved me money, because I would have spent at least $60 anyway checking those bags if we did 1 bag each for 2 different passengers. So that's something you get on JetBlue. With Platinum Pro, I think you also get free same-day standby. So if you want to stand by for an earlier flight, you can do that. Again, all of those things are nice, because I don't fly JetBlue all that much, but I'm sure there are people out there that do, but don't earn Mosaic status. And instead, You could play the American Airlines loyalty points game and earn American Airlines elite status and get those benefits that are pretty similar to JetBlue Mosaic, without ever stepping foot on a plane or spending much money on a JetBlue credit card.
I thought that was so cool when I read your post about how you made out so well with your American Airlines status on JetBlue. I don't know that if I had flown JetBlue recently before reading that, I don't know that I would have even remembered to connect my American Airlines account. I think by
Right.
default, I would have just used my JetBlue number in the reservation and been done with it, probably paid with points. Can you pay with points and connect your
That's
American Airlines account?
exactly what I did. Yeah, I
Yeah.
booked the flights were reward flights. So I paid 9,600 miles a person and $5.60. And during the booking process, I put in my American Airlines loyalty point number. Give you the option to set the loyalty program for each traveler. And I was able to choose American Airlines and put in my American Airlines number. And then I wasn't
Nice.
sure how it was going to work because when I looked at checking bags in advance, you would have to pay for them if I were checking them in advance. And so I was wondering how the free bags worked. Did I have to wait till I got to the airport to add those or what? Because within 24 hours, they become more expensive. So I chatted with JetBlue online and eventually discovered that they said, no, it'll automatically be linked because your American Airlines advantage number is on the reservation. It'll automatically recognize you get the free check bags at check-in. So when you go to check in, the bags will be free and the extra legroom seats will be free. So, and sure enough, that
Great.
was absolutely correct. I was looking at adding check bags
Yeah.
5 minutes before check-in and it would cost $30 a person. But then as soon as check-in opened, I was able to add 2 bags for free.
And when we said you booked this with points, it was with JetBlue points that you booked it, right? Because it's
correct.
also possible, I guess, to book these with American Airlines.
Not only
points,
I guess, but I might fly them tomorrow using American
right?
Airlines miles. Yes, because I'm looking at changing because I have a very early morning flight and looking to change to something else. And there are only 3 seats and I need 4. By the time you guys hear this, either I will have booked it or or go ahead and have them if you want. But the JetBlue is charging 24,000 points one way, and American Airlines has 3 seats on the same flight for 12,500 miles.
Nice.
So I'm hoping anyway I get that 4th seat. We'll see.
Wow, that's great. Of course, JetBlue isn't American Airlines' only domestic partner.
Right.
You could be flying Alaska Airlines and have a very similar situation. All the same things that Nick mentioned that are free or better with JetBlue are true with Alaska as well. But Alaska also adds in some things like you're flying internationally. There's lounge access. If you have Platinum Pro status, so that's American's sort of top tier status, you can upgrade to first class.
And it's nice because between Alaska and JetBlue, that covers a decent number of people. There are a lot of folks that live in cities that are well served by one or both of those airlines. So even if you don't like flying American Airlines, it could certainly be worth getting American Airlines Elite status. So if you thought, oh, that Hyatt Fast Track isn't for me, maybe it is.
And for people traveling internationally, what you have is One World Alliance. And so having American Airlines status gives you One World status, and that gives you benefits. Even American Airlines lowest level Gold Elite status gives you One World Ruby, which gives you like priority check-in and priority standby, preferred seating, depending on the airline that you're flying's rules, and free check bags. Once you get to American Airlines Platinum status, you have Sapphire One World status. That gives you priority boarding and security and business class lounge access. So if you're flying economy on a One World carrier, you could still get into the business class lounge. And at the next level, Emerald, One World Emerald status, which you get with Platinum Pro American Airlines status or higher, you get first class lounge access when flying a One World carrier. So that's a pretty terrific benefit. But a whole nother thing, how about getting elite benefits for other airlines that are not partners in any way? And even hotels and car rental companies and stuff like that. And all of that's possible through status matches. Ironically, the one I find sort of a bit interesting is Frontier, because if I was going to fly Frontier, which I've done like once in my life, but if I was going to do it again, I'd want to have status so that I could avoid the fees that are necessary for bringing on bags and whatnot. And I think that could be a quick way to get that. I think it's useful to call out 2 airlines in particular, Delta and United, that if you want status with either of them, having American Airlines status will help, believe it or not. So you could play this loyalty status game, get American Airlines status, and then do a match/challenge to Delta or United. And the way they both work is American Airlines Gold status gets you Delta or United Silver. American Airlines Platinum status gets you Delta or United Gold. And American Airlines Platinum Pro or higher gets you Delta or United Platinum status. And the reason it seems like you're getting less than what American Airlines name for the status is American Airlines status names are inflated. Like, so their lowest level elite tier is called gold, whereas everyone else's lowest is silver. Everyone else, their next level after silver is gold, and American's next level is platinum. So that's why it seems off like that. Here's a cool little factoid though. Delta will give you status for 3 months, and then you have a challenge to meet to keep that for a year. United will give you the status for 120 days. So wow. Yeah, so that's 3 40-day months if I did my math right.
Or 4 30-day ones, either way.